Welcome to another Good e-Reader comparison video. My name is Marcus.
And this is Peter.
And today we're going to compare the Amazon Kindle 4th generation. This is pretty well the most affordable Kindle to date versus the new Kindle Touch. This is the latest generation e-reader with all of the fixins. Let's just take a look at specs. They both have the same amount of resolution, 600 by 800. They are running a custom version of Linux. They differ as far as the processor speed. They both use Freescale processors. The Kindle 4th generation uses a 533 megahertz processor, while the Kindle Touch uses an 800 megahertz processor. The amount of internal storage actually changes too. There's only 2 gigs in here, and there's actually 4 gigs in here. Also, they do have the same amount of RAM, which is kind of interesting. Usually with touchscreen devices, they require a little bit more RAM. Although, if you have watched our full review video of the Kindle Touch, it didn't really come into play. I found that the touchscreen was very snappy. So this does not have a touchscreen. It has a virtual keyboard that you have to click on with the D-pad. This has a touchscreen keyboard, so it's a little bit easier to type on. We'll show you that in some of our comparisons. First of all, Peter here is going to show you the hardware differences between both of the units.
All right, so they do not use the same shell, as you can see. This one is thicker, longer, taller, and wider, and just about every other dimension you can think of, only because there's just so much more going on in this. There's a 3G receptor, there's speakers, headphone jack, touchscreen, infrared border. I'll just show you all that right now. So that's why the initial dimensions are indeed much different. So it's thicker, wider, taller, longer, pretty much bigger overall. So anyways, let's see the bottom here. Just go side by side. We have micro USBs across the board, status indicator lights across the board. You have power buttons or lock buttons, so these are used to both power your device on and off and lock the device. Kindle Touch, however, has full audio support with its 3.5mm headphone jack and stereo speakers. So they are on the back, but they're on this curved back, so it's kind of like a thumbnail, so they're not going to get muffled like, say, a Nook Color would be, because Nook Color's right here, right where, well, as flat as you can get it. So stereo speakers, very loud, very clear, not so loud, but they still, you'll still enjoy your music tracks. On the front, you'll notice that you have the page turn buttons that Amazon has used almost since day one. So there's page turn left and right here, and left-handed left and right. The Amazon Kindle Touch has no page turn buttons because it is all interactive on the touchscreen. Nothing on the top, no ports or anything on the side at least, and yeah, the backs look pretty similar, so that's pretty much it.
So they only make Wi-Fi versions of the Kindle 4th generation here, I believe, and this is mainly billed as a really low-cost entry ultra-portable reader, whereas this one, it has all the fixins with the audio packaging as well as the 3G Wi-Fi and then special offers variants. Let's take a look at some of the things that make them the same and also make them different. I think that the main difference is the home screens are the same. One of the differences between the Kindle Touch and the Kindle 4th generation is a new program here called X-Ray, and this gives you a chance to be able to interact and find out about all the main characters in the book. And I think that this is a killer feature if you're like me and if you're in between sometimes juggling a few different books. What does this all mean? Well, X-Ray is a way that you can find out who the main characters of the book are, how many times that they're referenced throughout the book. So you can see Peter here is mentioned many times, and then you slowly go down where a character may be only mentioned a few times here, like Caesar, and then you notice another character here mentioned many times, but only in passing, and then you can kind of scroll down here, find out more. If you want to find out about a particular person, you can click on them and find out a character biography.
They also do terms, so if there's special terms or phrases in the books, you can find them by clicking the terms. There's three things on the top: all items, people, and terms. You can organize them accordingly. So we're just going to go ahead and click on one of the characters here.
So you can see for yourself, it shows you, 16-year-old bakers. It mentions actually in a paragraph form when that character's name was mentioned. So it gives you a small little biography, but then it also takes you throughout the book and gives you a little synapse on in what context was that name or was that phrase used. I find that that's pretty cool. And you do notice that when you're scrolling down, this will actually change so you can see how far in the book that is. I could see this very useful for people juggling books at the same time, for people belonging to book clubs and you want to talk about specific characters. This is almost like a cheat or a Cliff's Notes version of it, and it can be very useful for like student textbooks, research books, and things like that. So obviously, this does not have it. What about if I wanted to, augment my ebook experience and check out if I wanted to change fonts, line spacing, and things like that? These do have a lot of things in common in terms of being able to do that.
Yeah, so on the Kindle 4, what you want to do to change your fonts and line spacing and all that is go to the menu button here, or the right click, depending on which way you want to look at it, and you can go to change font size. So this will bring up your menu here, and if you want to do that on the Kindle Touch, it's as easy as pressing the AA button that has been on pretty much every other Kindle as a physical button, but is now on the touchscreen. So you can see that everything's kind of the same here. You do have the regular condensed sans serif for both devices. You have fonts for both devices, although on this one you can't go ahead and touch. You have to physically move it piece by piece, link by link, using the directional pad here. You have line spacing as well, although the line spacing on this one is on the second page for some reason. So you go ahead and touch that. You have line spacing medium, large, and small. Same with this one. Everything should update live, so you won't have to exit out of either of the menus. You have words per line, so you can change those as well, more or less changing the margins. Then you have screen rotation on this device, whereas the Kindle Touch 3G doesn't allow you to change orientation, doesn't have an accelerometer or a gyroscope or anything like that, so it won't be changing orientation anytime soon.
Okay, so that's the book experience. How do page turns happen? So let's just show you maybe the flickering or absence of it. So I'm just going to just start randomly, churning pages. To churn pages on the Kindle Touch, you have to just like tap there. But you notice that there really isn't a whole lot of flickering. Maybe like every 6th page, there's a flickering because of the way that e-ink is set up to do the refresh rate. So
it can only display so much and change images so many times without doing a whole screen wipe. That's how they keep battery life. That's how they keep battery life so large, and that's how they keep consumption down.
Okay, so aside from new features like a touchscreen, audio, X-ray, and various other features, that's mainly the big distinctions. The store's the same, the main home screen the same, most of the options that you have are the same. The PDF experience is a bit different. We are going to be filming future videos that will show PDFs, but suffice to say, with PDF, with the Kindle Touch, it doesn't have reflow or anything like that. Instead, you would simply pinch and zoom in order to change your experience. So there's really no way to really do a whole lot of features like margins, line spacing, and so on. But you can pinch and zoom, which is fairly useful. So I would say probably the Kindle Touch is a better device if you want to use PDFs and complex images. So this has been a comparison of the Amazon Kindle 4th generation versus the Amazon Kindle Touch. For GoodyReader.com, my name is Marcus.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.